In this video, I will show you how I added a switch to my cheap Chinese e-bike charger, allowing me to select between charging to 80% or 100%. I wanted to prolong the lifespan of my battery since some sources online say that charging only to 80% would actually double the usable cycles I could get out of my battery. Since I was unable to find any options for chargers that do this, that I could afford at least, I decided to see if I can add it myself to the charger I already had. Without further ado, I will show you what I did to achieve this. Beware that these things will have 300 volts inside, which you most definitely don't want in your fingers, so make sure it's unplugged and the capacitors are discharged before you touch it. All of these chargers will have 3 adjustment potentiometers in them. One of those is for adjusting the end of charge voltage, which is the one that I'm interested in. On most designs that I've seen, the voltage adjustment one is the one that is on its own, and it will be connected to pin 1 of the TL494 chip. If you just want a charger which only ever charges to 80%, you can just change that adjustment pot to get the desired voltage and be done with it. However, I also wanted a switch so I can still charge to 100% if needed. Since this adjustment pot is just a variable resistor, putting another resistor in series, or in parallel with it, will change the total resistance and adjust the output voltage of the charger. Now, if we can switch that additional resistance on and off, this allows to conveniently change the final charge voltage. I chose to put my additional resistor in parallel with the existing adjustment pot, just because that does not require desoldering anything on the charger board or cutting any traces, so I just needed to solder some wires to what's already there. After a bit of probing with the multimeter in continuity mode, I found a nice unpopulated through hole on the board which was connected to one side of the potentiometer, so I could very easily solder a wire to that. For the other side, I had to solder to one leg of a surface mount resistor, which was still easy enough. Next, I had to find the right resistor value to put across these two connections. I did it just by turning the adjustment pot down to that 80% charge level that I wanted, which in my case was a 52.6 volts for my 48 volt battery. Then I just tried various different resistors across the two connections, starting with 20k, which only made about 0.1 volts of a difference, and working my way down. In the end I settled on 1.6k, which gave me 54.6 volts for 100% charge. I would still recommend to start high in case yours needs a higher value than that. I did it with the charger powered on to check the resulting voltage, being careful not to touch anything and discharging the capacitor afterwards. After that, I drilled a hole in the top of the case for my new switch, soldered it together, added some heat shrink, and then some hot glue to hold it all together. I also added some new thermal compound to the MOSFETs just to make sure that they're really cool. Goes back together and we're ready to test outside. Thank you for watching.